solving trig functions. So we are on part 2 of solving trig functions in section 8.3. These are much more complex trig functions to solve. So I want you to realize that. There's a reason I split it into 2 days. So now we're going to have functions that have a lot more going on, okay? Do you remember solving quadratic equations? You're going to have to do that here. You're going to have to factor and solve that way. So this is going to end up with, normally we would end up in a cosine function with 2 solutions. You could potentially end up with 4. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. There are certain places, and I'll show you here in a minute, why this one doesn't actually have 4 solutions. But let's go ahead and start solving this. So the first thing that we do, we're going to subtract 8 from both sides to make sure that we have it so that we can factor it, and then we can solve it. All right, and then you're going to factor. I am not doing that in the video. If you need help with that, come see me. Okay, it takes too long, and it's something you should know how to do by now. So I end up with 5 cosine x minus 4 and cosine x plus 2 equals 0. All right, so cosine x equals 4/5 and cosine x equals negative 2. Now, if you know that, if you remember from our chart, negative 2 is too small, so I can't use that. That won't work, so there's no solution for that one. So the only one that I'm going to deal with is the cosine of x equals 4/5. So I take the inverse of cosine of x. And I end up with 0.6435 plus 2k pi. And I also end up with x equals negative 0.6435 plus 2k pi. So the hard part in this is not actually the trig part, okay? You should already know how to do this. It's the fact that I actually have to go through these steps. You have to factor, okay? I will go ahead and do full factoring in class tomorrow for those of you that feel like you need it. But again, I'm not going to do it on the video because you should know that by now. So you will have one practice problem today, okay? This is tangent of x, cosine squared x equals tan x, all right? Make sure you move the tan x over here, then you can factor. This is a little different in factoring as far as this one's concerned, but it's, again, you'll end up with multiple solutions, okay? You can end up with so many solutions with this, but you have to be able to remember how to factor. That is crucial to this lesson. So now we're going to look at the solution to the practice problem. Okay, so I moved too far. So here it is. So first of all, I moved the tangent over here so it was equal to 0, so I could factor it and solve. I factored out a tangent of x. So I get tangent of x equals 0. X equals 0 plus k pi. Super easy on this side. This side I get cosine squared x minus 1 equals 0. So now I'm going to move the 1 over here. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. I get the cosine of x equals positive and negative 1. And if I look back on my chart, I get 0 plus 2k pi and also pi plus 2k pi. So again, the hard part in these ones is the factoring. There's a lot going on. You have to realize that most of the rules that you already know about solving equations apply to this too. And you have to be able to apply your previous knowledge to this stuff. So that's the end of this video. It is short because I made it, I knew these were going to be harder problems, so I wanted to spend some time on them. And so in class tomorrow, all your problems will be like this, and you'll have the entire class period to work only on this one type of problem. See you tomorrow.